कुछ अच्छा हो जाए, कुछ मीठा हो जाए।
स्टार 614 मिलाओ और 67 रुपए में जैज महाना बचत ऑफर लगाओ।
जैज, दुनिया को बता दो।
तवानाई से भरपूर मजेदार दूध रूह अफ़ज़ा 225 मिलीलीटर टेट्रा पैक में दस्तयाब है।
लो, सूख गए दाग, अब कोई नहीं निकाल सकता।
जो कोई नहीं कर सकता वही तो चैंपियन करता है। नया बेहतर सर्फ एक्सेल, इसकी स्टेन लिफ्टर टेक्नोलॉजी कपड़ों की तह में जाके सख्त सूखे दाग भी खींच निकाले। नया सर्फ एक्सेल, दागों का चैंपियन।
सर्फ का 10 अब दे 10% ज्यादा पाउडर।
चेहरे का मुकम्मल ब्यूटी सोल्यूशन।
फेस फ्रेश ब्यूटी फेस वॉश।
जो फेस फ्रेश वही ब्यूटीफुल। फेस फ्रेश।
20% ऑफ on Jazz Weekly Super Plus। अब सिर्फ 240 रुपए में। मिलाओ स्टार 505 हैश, दुनिया को बता दो।
Winning together, striving together, rising together, glory forever. LPL is the moment we win together. Yeah.
Lanka Premier League 2020. Win together.
Jaffna Stallions are cruising at the halfway stage. They have stunned opponents with the firepower of Tesara Pereira and Avisca Fernando. The pace of Usman Shinwari and the guile of Wanindu Hasaranga. One more win and the semi-final spot is assured. But now they're up against a tough opponent. The Colombo Kings are fielding a star-studded lineup. And after a loss to Dambulla Viking, they'll be looking to bounce back in style.
Well, it's a very warm welcome to the Mahinda Rajapaksa International Stadium. It is a gorgeous evening. Ayubowan and a vanakkam to everybody else in Sri Lanka, and a welcome to whatever time zone you're in. And it is going to be an absolutely magnificent game. And let's take a look at what the two teams are. The Jaffna Stallion, they're batting first after they were put into bat. Well, very encouraging to see V.S. Kant in that side and many other changes. Jaffna Stallions being a little bit flexible with their team changes because they are right on top. They're in excellent form. Colombo Kings lying at number 3. They've made a few changes too. In fact, they've made 2 changes. So it is going to be a good game. And with Colombo Kings determined to try and turn tables on the Jaffna Stallion. Well, let's not forget that Jaffna Stallion, though they do have an unblemished record, they've struggled a little bit every time they've batted first. And chasing has been their forte. It's interesting to see how they will cope with the Colombo Kings bowling, and the two umpires just going through the formalities of sanitizing themselves. And we are almost ready to start this important game. A big game between two star-studded sides. We've got Mickey Arthur and Darren Ganga with me. Good evening, gentlemen. And let's start with Darren. What do you reckon?
Good contest on our hands, and I say that because Colombo Kings went down in their last match against Dambulla Viking, had a run chase and fell for 147. They were bowled out. So not surprisingly, they've opted for Daniel Bell Drummond as one of the 2 changes here. 4 changes for the Jaffna Stallions too.
एक माँ है जिसने तुम्हें पैदा किया और दूसरी माँ तुम्हारी जमीन। और माँ को छोड़कर कौन भागता है? लो, सूख गए दाग, अब कोई नहीं निकाल सकता।
जो कोई नहीं कर सकता वही तो चैंपियन करता है। नया बेहतर सर्फ एक्सेल, इसकी स्टेन लिफ्टर टेक्नोलॉजी कपड़ों की तह में जाके सख्त सूखे दाग भी खींच निकाले। नया सर्फ एक्सेल, दागों का चैंपियन।
सर्फ का 10 अब दे 10% ज्यादा पाउडर।
फास्ट केबल्स है नंबर 1 इन टेक्नोलॉजी। पहली कीमा गोल्ड सर्टिफिकेशन, मुल्क की वाहिद CCV लाइन और रियल क्वालिटी की फास्ट तस्दीक। तारों से सितारों तक फास्ट केबल्स।
And Daniel Bell Drummond coming into the side. So, we've spoken about how big and important this game is going to be. I'd like to hear from Mickey Arthur what he thinks about particularly these changes. Where's Khan, the young leg spinner, PhD Kaushal.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they go. Spin has been the go of late in this competition. I thought it was a real good estimation from Darren Ganga. This is the experience versus the youth. We've got the young guns in your Vishkas, Danajay De Silvas, Wanindu Hasarangas, Benura Fernandos, etc., versus the experience of Angela Matthews, Dinesh Chandimal, Isuru Adana, Andre Russell. So it's the young versus the old. I think it's going to be a fantastic contest.
Older experience, Mickey Arthur. Some players don't like being called old.
Good point, that Darren. Very experienced.
But I understand what you're saying.
And we've got one on our screen, and I'm so happy to see Angelo Matthews with the new ball in his hand, because that gives the Sri Lankan cricket team such a good balance if we can get overs out of Angelo Matthews.
Well, that's the countdown. And we're almost ready to start. It's a lovely sight, isn't it? The ground lit up, very colourful. And Angelo Matthews starts off proceedings. Avishka Fernando on strike. And heard 2 sounds. Matthews is a bit interested, but they're off and running. The Jaffna Stallion.
Angelo Matthews just bringing this one into the pads of Avishka. He knows you don't give Avishka Fernando any width.
Another look. Yeah, possibly just going down the leg side. That's a leg by, but there were 2 sounds. Oh, straight away gets a bit of movement.
There's been a lot of talk about the pitch. It's furthest east on the square. You would say pitch number 1. Doesn't look like the pitches we've played on previously, so there's been a bit of speculation, conjecture about the pitch, but we expect that it will be good for batting. We've seen consistent bounce on offer from this square.
Johnson Charles playing in his first game. Seen him play around the world in leagues. Powerful striker.
Yeah, I'm very interested to hear from you, Darren. When Johnson Charles came on the scene, he was amazing. If we just have a quick look at the pitch, it does look different. I must admit, I had a look at it. It looked a little bit duller than the other pitches have been. But to get back to the point, Darren, and maybe you can enlighten us after this ball, he looked such a good player, and he just seems to have stagnated it just a little bit.
Well, on the point of Johnson Charles, it's his first game in the My 11 Circle Lanka Premier League. Had his quarantine period, and he's had a good couple years in the Caribbean Premier League playing for the Barbados Tridents. In fact, this year I think he was a leading run scorer. Jason Holder as well had a fair bit of runs for the Tridents. They were the defending champions, but didn't make that playoff round of matches. Hasn't found favour with the West Indian selectors of late.
Well, this game is on the extreme pitch, and that pitch too generally doesn't get used as much as the ones in the middle. This is that LBW shout. Yeah, completely going down the leg side. Doesn't get used as much as the ones in the center, so you would expect it to be good. So it's in one extreme, and the good thing about this ground, it's a large ground, so you can still maintain the 70 yards. Another single. So 3 runs of the first over. It's 3 without loss.
पूरी की पूरी रकम
फौरन से पहले पहुंच जाती है। इसीलिए मैं घर पैसे सिर्फ एलाइड एक्सप्रेस सर्विस से भेजता हूँ और एलाइड एक्सप्रेस +1 टर्म डिपॉजिट से बेहतरीन मुनाफा भी।
एलाइड बैंक, आपके दिल में हमारा अकाउंट।
चलें, अब मैच देखते हैं।
Just for men for hair and beard. Buy अपना natural looking color सिर्फ 5 मिनट में।
iBase International.
इसीलिए तो बचाए थे पैसे।
इसीलिए तो हम कहते हैं मोल सुप्रीम अर्थक्वेक रेजिस्टेंट स्टील बार। घर छोटा बड़ा नहीं, घर महफूज होता है।
Star-studded side. Viascant making his debut to the big moment when his cap was presented. It's going to be a really good battle. Russell versus Tissera Pereira. They've both been big hitters, and this is that big moment for Viascant. Captain handing over. And of course Johnson Charles, he's also making his debut. But the big moment was for the young Viascant, who hails from the Northern Province, leg spinner, and has played under 19 cricket for Sri Lanka, and he is going to be the big hope coming from the Northern Province, and he will be a model, a role model that most youngsters would want to emulate, which is perfect. That's what tournaments like this should try and do. Dushman to Chamira.
I was making the point in the pre-show about this Jaffna Stallion squad and the makeup of the players. 8 players 23 years and under in the squad. So again, showing the youthfulness of this franchise. And many of the players, homegrown players from the Jaffna region. So I'm sure Viascant, his selection, will be an inspiration for the others who've not had a chance as yet.
Well, interesting, if you look at the ownerships of these franchises, punched, but on the bounce to the man at mid-off. Out of the 5 owners, Jaffna is owned by a Sri Lankan ownership. It's all Sri Lankans. And they hail from, most of them hail from the Northern Province. I know it's a mix of people from the Northern Province and rest of Sri Lanka, but they're Sri Lankans. So obviously they'll be very interested in looking at that area, the north and the east, and trying to develop, whilst the others are not from this country. So that affiliation may not be there, understandably.
Yeah, we talk about Sri Lankans, they're wonderful owners, they really are, and it's so good to see them giving back to their region. We talk about Sri Lankans, we talk about Dushwanta Chamira. Very excited about him. I thought in the last game, in the previous game, I thought was his best performance so far. He found his length, he hit a hard length, he looks rhythmical when he's running in, and that's really great for the Sri Lankan cricket team going forward. To have him back just provides us with a real cog. There, as we see his figures, that 2 for 27 against Dambula for me was by far his best performance.
It's been a slow start for the Stallions. That's the young man making his debut. Big moment, proud moment for him and his family. And he's become a star overnight. Johnson Charles chancing his arms, and it's gone for 6. He's a powerful striker, I'll tell you. In his zone, he'll punish you.
Yeah, he picked to that length up, just slightly back. Johnson Charles clearing his front leg and hitting that powerfully away over the mid-wicket, mid-on area. Really good shot. That typifies the way Johnson Charles plays early. You miss your length, he's going to punish you.
Colombo Kings would have done their research and they'll know that he's a strong player square of the wicket. You can't bowl short. He's not a big driver off the cricket ball.
Taken at cover. Dushmanta Chamira strikes with a change-up. And that is very clever bowling indeed. And the Jaffna Stallion have lost their first wicket.
How often do we see a strength becoming a weakness and players getting out in their strong areas? That's where he scores most of his runs. This time he doesn't get the placement right. Maybe an indication that the pitch is quite slow, but he hasn't made a great impact in this innings. He's gone for 7, it's 10 for 1.
हर मील पे सिंगल डील, ये तो ट्रबल है। अब क्या ट्रबल है? फूड पैंडा पे सब डबल है। अरे फिर से सिंगल? डबल है।
मुन्ना अब तक सिंगल हो।
ओ चाचा, डबल है। भाईजान, बबल है। डबल है। फूड पैंडा डबल डील, घर का खाना मंगवाओ या रेस्टोरेंट से खाओ। अभी ऐप डाउनलोड करो और डबल डील पाओ।
पूरी की पूरी रकम फौरन से पहले पहुंच जाती है। इसीलिए मैं घर पैसे सिर्फ एलाइड एक्सप्रेस सर्विस से भेजता हूं और एलाइड एक्सप्रेस +1 टर्म डिपॉजिट से बेहतरीन मुनाफा भी।
एलाइड बैंक, आपके दिल में हमारा अकाउंट।
चलें, अब मैच देखते हैं।
स्टार 614 हैश मिलाओ और 67 रुपए में जैज महाना बचत ऑफर लगाओ।
जैज, दुनिया को बता दो।
The responsibility of keeping today. Johnson Charles was the batsman to be dismissed, and Minot Bhanuka. It's a fledgling career for him, 48 games, average just under 20. Strike rate will improve. He's got a best of 70. And it was an excellent catch at point. Lovely change-up, wasn't it, Mickey?
Yeah, he bowled that well. The good thing for me was he went for 6 the ball before, and he maintained his length.
Finds the edge, and that will run away to the boundary. Just spoils the over, 11 and a wicket. It's 14 for 1.
स्टार 614 हैश मिलाओ और 67 रुपए में जैज महाना बचत ऑफर लगाओ।
जैज, दुनिया को बता दो।
Do the deal.
टाइगर एनर्जी बिस्किट्स जो दे 20% आयरन और जिंक की ग़िज़ाइयत।
नया 10 वाला टाइगर
जो दे एनर्जी का डबल डोज।
टाइगर एनर्जी बिस्किट्स, एनर्जी भरा डोज हर रोज।
$14 for 1, 2 overs completed. Matthews finds a bit of late away movement. Avishka Fernando coming forward, the probing line around that just outside the off stump. Another look at that wicket again.
Johnson Charles again opening the foot, playing it off to mid-on. Very, very good catch. Daniel Bell Drummond making his debut for the Colombo Kings. I was just having a look here at Angelo Matthews' field. We've got a deep square leg and we've got a guy at deep extra cover. Means his line's going to be very, very straight. And he's maintained that line since he started bowling. Just shows a little bit of experience. He knows his plan. He knows what he wants to do.
Last ball, last over, also in that corridor of uncertainty. Fortuitous boundary. My 11 Circle Lanka Premier League, My 11 Circle, an app where you can make your fantasy cricket team and play with real champion cricketers. All you need to do is download the app from www.my11circle.com and start playing on the app by making your team with the players who you think will offer you maximum points in the matches. I'm sure you're thinking about players already for this match. Andrew Russell will be right up there. You might even name him as captain in your fantasy team.
Not if Mickey Arthur is selecting it. He'll have him. Wahidu Hasaranga. That's Mickey Arthur's pick. That's a single, but it's It's not easy. And your second pick, I'm sure, would be Kusal Mendes.
No, not at all. I just pick guys that can win games for Sri Lanka, that's all. And Manor Banuka is one of those. He's grown. I'm really looking forward to see Tisara Pereira, Andre Russell. We've got all the big guns on show tonight. We really have. It's a mouth-watering contest. To get back to Manor Banuka, I'm really looking forward to seeing him keep wicket as well. Very good behind the stumps.
He's been getting that ball to move away from the right hand. That ball came back to the left hand. Angelo Matthews getting a bit on nip.
And he's bowling the right length. We've spoken about this on commentary, how important it is for bowlers to find that length, that 8-meter length on the pitch. It just challenges the batsman, the ability to transfer weight forward and back. When you start muddling the mind of a batsman, that's when you can create opportunities for a wicket.
So they get a single. I think the non-striker was very lucky that Matthews didn't have a finger on that ball. I'm sure he was outside the crease. It's 16 for 1.
फास्ट केबल से जगमगाए हर खेल का मैदान, परफॉर्मेंस शानदार, रियल क्वालिटी की पहचान, तारों से सितारों तक, फास्ट केबल्स।
बातें बातें अब जल्दी कर ले, डेड होना चाहिए।
लंबी बैटरी से सब खुश। Redmi होता तो ये ना होता। Redmi 9C।
Xiaomi. Just for men for hair and beard. Buy अपना natural looking color सिर्फ 5 मिनट में.
iBase International.
Lots of coverage, from Asia to Europe, to Ireland, to the Middle East, Afghanistan. And what about the digital partners? Well, you could watch them. This could be streamed, live streamed, wherever you are, and enjoy the cricket. And it's been that good, the quality of cricket so far. It's been high scoring, some outstanding batsmanship.
And another wonderful cricketer for Sri Lanka bowling at the moment, Isuru Dona, just fresh out of the RPL. He kind of leads our one-day white ball attack. Man, that's got an amazing amount of variations as you watch Angelo Matthews. Well, he didn't get a touch on that, but he got back quick. The only problem was he'd have to pull the stump out because both bails were off. But so good watching Isuru Dana go through his different variations. He knows exactly when and what is required for every situation. He's a wonderful professional.
His class has been seen, Isuru Dana, and that class would have been enhanced by the fact that he's gone into an IPL, gained a lot of experience. That's a glass delivery. Just a perfect length.
I also think if you can work on developing an extra yard of pace, that will enhance his potency as a bowler. Has the ability to swing the ball.
Oh, Avishka. It's gone all the way. He's so strong in that area. Anything onto the pads, he just makes maximum use of it. That's a huge 6.
Back of the hand slow ball onto the pads of Avishka, and he's kind of swept that. He picked that slow ball, got himself into position early and executed very, very well. That is a strength of Avishka Fernando's.
Just want to remind everyone that this guy is only 22 years of age. I've been thoroughly impressed with Avishka Fernando and the manner in which he's gone about scoring runs for his team at the top of the innings. Very easy on the eyes in terms of his technique. Commits himself when he goes on the attack. Had an unbeaten 92 in the first game, then a second half century in the last one. So that consistency at the top of the innings. He doesn't really look like he's hurried at all when he's facing the fast bowlers. So he can judge length quite quickly An important asset to have as an opening batsman, and he's got it. It's a very tender age.
He's had a brilliant LPL so far, My 11 Circle LPL. He's been consistent. He's looked very good chasing. That was one question I posed to him when he was man of the match. Asked him what was the secret. And he said he likes to aim a target. Now these are the dimensions. It's a 70-yard boundary. And that's been consistently maintained, though the pitches have been moved. As you know, we're playing on the extreme pitch. So the pitchers will be constantly moved to make sure that the quality is retained. Good fielding, good fielding. It's 24 for 1.
पूरी की पूरी रकम फौरन से पहले पहुंच जाती है। इसीलिए मैं घर पैसे सिर्फ एलाइड एक्सप्रेस सर्विस से भेजता हूं और एलाइड एक्सप्रेस +1 टर्म डिपॉजिट से बेहतरीन मुनाफा भी।
एलाइड बैंक, आपके दिल में हमारा अकाउंट।
चलें, अब मैच देखते हैं।
फेस फ्रेश है तेरा बड़ा हिट सोनिए। फ्रेकल्स और डार्क स्पॉट्स की टोटल ट्रीटमेंट।
फेस फ्रेश क्लेंजर फेस वॉश।
जो फेस फ्रेश वही ब्यूटीफुल। फेस फ्रेश।
तवानाई से भरपूर मजेदार दूध रूह अफ़ज़ा 225 मिलीलीटर टेट्रा पैक में दस्तयाब है।
24 for 1, 4 overs completed. Charles, the only batsman out. So, Dushman Chamir is back. Matthews did have a brief spell, 2-over spell. Has swung Chamira to the opposite end. Good work at short fine leg. He was looking to go over mid-on. It was pitched up. Avishka loves that long on area.
That was the last ball, the last over. Good intensity in this contest already. Colombo Kings, they look switched on. They know that it's important for them to secure a win here. Don't want to be leaving it for too late in the tournament to qualify. We've been talking a lot about bowlers in the power play, and what we've seen in the tournament tonight. Colombo Kings, their bowlers, they've been excellent in terms of the lengths that they've bowled. There is a little bit of lateral movement, but you still got to pitch the ball in the right areas. Have a look at this. Majority of the deliveries in that length region, that green band, 6 to 8 meters. We often speak about this. Colombo Kings, very well done.
Yeah, it is, and I think from what we've seen through the competition, certainly that length has been where the seam bowlers have got their most lateral movement, and they've been hardest to play from.
Yeah, that graphic had Jaffna, but it's actually Colombo Kings and their bowlers collectively, what they've achieved. As a coach, Mikiata, you take that any day, especially with a little bit of movement. Just let that soak in. 63% of deliveries in that green band. Kushal Gibbs will be proud.
He'll be very happy with that. And as a coach, all you're asking from your bowler is to find the length that's going to hit the top of off stump. Find that length quickly and then hammer that length. And if a batsman hits you from that length, there's nothing you can do as a bowler. It's when you go searching that becomes a problem.
Tisara Pera, he's been good in bowling that length as well. Usman Shinwari, who's not playing for the Jaffna Stallion, also good. And it's an area of the game that we've seen improve from the first game to match number 11.
Used his variation well there, Dushman Chamira. What I liked, he bowled the bouncer at 143 the ball before, and then this one he's rolled his fingers over. Very well thought out. Constructing an over is so important. The key for him now, because it's been such a good over, is to exit this over properly. He's got 2 balls. He doesn't want to go chasing the over. He just wants to land his ball in the right area, which is the length area, as you've highlighted, Darren.
Only a single, so he's done well there. So just 2 runs off the over. Just getting back to the toss. I understand what Angelo Matthews meant there. He wasn't sure how well this surface would play. He wasn't sure what a good score would be, so that's why he just said he would rather bowl.
I also feel he thinks the dew factor will be significant, so allowing his bowlers to bowl when conditions supposedly a bit drier.
Last ball of the over. Needs to finish strong. Just 2 runs so far. Just a single. Very well bowled by Chamira. 5 overs completed. It's 27 for 1.
इसीलिए तो बचाए थे पैसे
इसीलिए तो हम कहते हैं मुगल सुप्रीम अर्थक्वेक रेजिस्टेंट स्टील बार घर छोटा बड़ा नहीं घर महफूज होता है
पूरी की पूरी रकम फौरन से पहले पहुंच जाती है इसीलिए मैं घर पैसे सिर्फ एलाइड एक्सप्रेस सर्विस से भेजता हूं और एलाइड एक्सप्रेस +1 टर्म डिपॉजिट से बेहतरीन मुनाफा भी
एलाइड बैंक आपके दिल में हमारा अकाउंट
चलें अब मैच देखते हैं
बातें अब जल्दी कर ले डेड होना चाहिए
लंबी बैटरी से सब खुश रेडमी होता तो ये ना होता रेडमी 9C
Xiaomi.
Interesting start. 5 overs gone, 27 for 1 at this stage. As I look at the projected scores, need to step on the gas a little bit. This power play situation finishes in 1 over. That's a very good shot. That is beautifully played. That was creamed. 4 runs to start the over is a really good start.
This pitch is offering a lot to the bowlers. And if you bowl a full toss like this, what do you expect as a bowler? Got the right treatment, and it was my 11th circle champion shot.
Yeah, I think some of the bowling's been really good up until now. They've got to make sure they change their pace on the surface. There's no doubt it's on the slower side. There's no doubt it's just gripping a little bit. It does help, of course, if it does bounce a little bit. Full tossers are going to get dispatched quite comfortably.
Yeah, good stride in. Avishka Fernando. An 80 yesterday. 92 not out previously. Start slow. He knows his game. He knows he can catch up. And that's why Minod Bhanuka needs to make sure that the pressure doesn't build and that scoreboard keeps moving.
There's a change of pace, just working it around for 1, trying to rotate the strike if you can't do much more than that. Don't forget to go to my11circle.com and you can download that app. You can play with the champions. You can select your side, of course. Now it's a little bit challenging today. There's different players. There's 6 different changes in the teams today. 4 different players for the Stallions, but you can have some fun and there you go. Play with the champions. I wonder if he's on it now. Shoaib Malik. No, he's a champion. Don't worry about that. He will play a key role today. Over the top. That is nicely played, and that is a wonderful stroke. That really is a beautiful stroke for 6.
That was in his zone. Looked like he was waiting for that length. The moment he spotted that, he played that stroke with all the confidence in the world. He looks a different player from yesterday. After scoring a 50, he's gained a lot of confidence. His demeanor at the crease has changed. Oozing with confidence now, Avishka.
He's starting afresh, not trying to continue from where he left off yesterday. Taking his time, facing a few, and now he's starting to play his shots. But the Jaffna Stallions have not really dominated the power play overs. The highest they made was 51, but other than that, 27 for 4, 40 for 4. And today they're 39 for 1 with 1 ball remaining. It's through the middle overs that they really have dominated. Batting first, they've gone on to score 185 and 218.
Given the conditions, I think it's not a bad start. Easing into the job.
The average in the power plays up until now has been 41 for 2. 39 for 1.
Just for men for hair and beard. Buy अपना natural looking color सिर्फ 5 मिनट में.
iBase International. Do the deal.
20% off on Jazz Weekly Super Plus. अब सिर्फ 240 रुपए में. मिलाओ स्टार 505 हैश. दुनिया को बता दो.
एक चॉकलेट अम्मी के लिए.
आपका चेंज.
हैप्पी बर्थडे अम्मी.
कुछ अच्छा हो जाए, कुछ मीठा हो जाए.
End of the power play. Umpire Kirti Bandara gives us a signal. He's standing at the Tanamalwila end. At the far end, Suryavava end, is Ravindra Vimalasiri. Ruchira Palyaguru is the third umpire. Palyaguru gave. I corrected myself before I get a call from him. Match referee, Wendell LeBroy.
Kosher now. Sydney tries to get some revolutions on the ball.
A serious streak to that ball.
He also doesn't mess around with the pace. He tries to just scoot them through a little bit as well, particularly early in the over. I think that's outside the line of off stump.
It's running away. 2 leg byes, and you're right, I think Hayes probably was. Yeah, they asked for it. The call is that it hit the back leg. Very fast indeed, 97 Ks. You saw it run away towards the boundary line. Minod Bhanuka down on one knee, trying to go over mid-wicket.
Palyaguru, the TV umpire, is going to be adjudicating this. No problem with the front foot. Let's have a look and see where the connection is. Straight away, it's the hip, but he's on that knee. I think it's outside the line of off stump. However, bowler and keeper are up in unison.
It probably would have gone on to hit the stumps, but if the impact is outside the line of off stump, he shouldn't be given out.
No heartbeat. So nothing on ultra edge at all. You'll see a bit of a blip as it goes past and hits that back leg. But the umpire right now is just making sure it doesn't hit the willow. Let's have a look. Outside the line of off stump. Yep.
And Minod Bhanuk also knows what he's doing. He's batting outside the line of off stump because Tarinder Kaushal is going wide of the crease and angling it into the left-hander.
Did you notice where the wicketkeeper was? He should have gone and calmed the bowler down. Mate, this is outside the off stump. Don't waste the review.
Yeah, he was,
use it.
He was leaping like a salmon.
He's had a difficult time, and it's good to see PhD Kaushal back played Test cricket for Sri Lanka, and his action was questioned. So he must be really eager to get into the game too.
He's intense. Have a look at the start of the run-up. Just making sure his field is exactly right. Starts a bit like a lawn bowler might. Opening the blade, just bringing a sweep into play on the offside.
99-run partnership yesterday between Minod Bhanuka and Avishka Fernando. The action.
It seems like he first asked for the permission of the batsman, should I? Yeah, if the batsman is not ready, he has to stop. Ask once again.
When he was initially introduced to Test cricket, he used to turn the ball a mile, like Muthaya Muralidharan.
I like the way he tries to put so much action on the delivery. I really do, and I remember those days. We used to turn it a long way. Halfway through the over, halfway through his first, 3 from it so far. The run rate has been checked.
He just mentioned he used to spin the ball a lot. What happened now? But yes, he has remodeled the action.
Yep, he was called out of cricket for a while and battling his way in. So that's why I did mention it's good to see him back. He's worked very, very hard.
Good to see. Full toss. Just the single brings Avisca Fernando back on strike. That single, by the way, from Avisca Fernando takes him to the highest scorer so far in the Lanka Premier League.
Was that wide, Hazy, very close to that return crease. So it's a difficult angle.
It's nicely bowled. That is a really good first over. Singles galore, 6 from it, 45 for 1.
छोटे कैमरे के बड़े मसले Redmi होता तो ये ना होता Redmi 9C Xiaomi
Do the deal. Manhattan Graph, the yellow buildings are the power play. 1 over outside the power play now. This run rate has been checked. It's under 6.5 at this stage. Here we go. Things happen when Case Ahmed gets into the attack. Case Ahmed is one of those guys who really enjoys his cricket. He's a youngster. He's got a spring in his step. Some big bash experience in Australia.
Street fighter. Doesn't go away. He'll be in your face. Might take that, but he'll keep coming back. Quickish leg break bowler, bowls wicket to wicket. Pretty similar to Rashid Khan.
Oh, that's nicely played. That is terrific. Nice and fine. That's the important thing about that shot. Yes, it was a full toss, but he still had to put it away nice and fine.
Well, the line helped the batsman to execute that stroke. It was wide of the off stump, and straight away Chandimal ran to the leg spinner, Qais Ahmed, that you don't have to get that much of flight, and you don't have to bowl outside the off stump. You have to concentrate on every delivery. 50 up. Good start for Jaffna Stallions.
They'd like to start moving now.
Tried to, couldn't retain the shape though. 2 men back on the leg side. Good fill placings from Angelo Matthews for Case Ahmed. One of our sponsors on board as well. Getting nice and cold in that fridge. Of course, you all know that it does give you wings, and that's what they need this ball to do at the moment. There we go. That's got wings, I think, but has it flown far enough? No, it hasn't. Wicket has been taken. Case Ahmed is into the attack, and he's picked up a wicket straight away.
That's the luxury of having a leg spinner in your lineup. They might get a bit of tap, but what they can bring for you is wickets. A dangerous batsman has been removed.
Bit of turn. It's a shot that Avisca Fernando plays really well. The turn caused him to slice it and lose that timing. Oh yes. Avisca Fernando, 26 he's made. Jaffna Stallions are 51 for 2.
इसीलिए तो बचाए थे पैसे।
इसीलिए तो हम कहते हैं मुगल सुप्रीम अर्थक्वेक रेजिस्टेंट स्टील बार। घर छोटा बड़ा नहीं, घर महफूज होता है।
लो सूख गए दाग, अब कोई नहीं निकाल सकता।
जो कोई नहीं कर सकता वही तो चैंपियन करता है। नया बेहतर सर्फ एक्सेल, इसकी स्टेन लिफ्टर टेक्नोलॉजी कपड़ों की तह में जाके सख्त सूखे दाग भी खींच निकाले। नया सर्फ एक्सेल, दागों का चैंपियन।
सर्फ का 10 अब दे 10% ज्यादा पाउडर।
तवानाई से भरपूर मजेदार दूध रूह अफ़ज़ा 225 मिलीलीटर टेट्रा पैक में दस्तयाब है।
Pereira's done it twice. Vizca Fernando's done it once. So the top order haven't got going, and here it's an opportunity now for Shoaib Malik. He's got plenty of overs left in this innings. Extremely experienced, over 400 games. But he's someone now who can control things out there for the Jaffna Stallions. Cesaro Pereira will be happy that he wasn't required in the last game, and other guys chipped in and did the business and got them home. But someone's going to have to do something special again tonight by the looks of it.
Yeah, Shoaib Malik's overdue. He's been awfully quiet in this Lanka Premier League. You suggested plenty of overs for him to make his mark.
Come on, boy. Come on, boy. Come on, boy.
And this is the reason why Shoaib Malik is out there in the middle.
Just sliced it a wee bit of turn. That was enough to do the job for Vizca Fernando.
Eased around the corner, just the single. That's impressive stuff from Qais Ahmed first up. Picked up a wicket, that's what he's meant to do. 53 for 2.
Do the dew.
इसीलिए तो बचाए थे पैसे।
इसीलिए तो हम कहते हैं मुगल सुप्रीम अर्थक्वेक रेजिस्टेंट स्टील बार। घर छोटा बड़ा नहीं, घर महफूज होता है।
स्टार 614 हैश मिलाओ और 67 रुपए में जैज महाना बचत ऑफर लगाओ।
जैज दुनिया को बता दो।
तवानाई से भरपूर मजेदार दूध रूह अफ़ज़ा 225 मिलीलीटर टेट्रा पैक में दस्तयाब है।
6.6 is the run rate at the moment.
Ball, PSG! Good ball!
Vinod Bhanuka has to give Shoaib Malik a little bit of time to settle in. You don't want two new batsmen in. Runs are not easy to come by.
Come on, lads, come on! What's up, fellas?
Couple of wickets have gone down, and this one's a big one. Great catch from Laurie, and so confident right underneath it. Judging it to perfection.
Hardly had to move. Straight to him.
Come on, PH!
Smiles there from the youngster.
Vice President Sri Lanka Cricket Domestic, Naveen Vikramaratne, also the tournament director of the Lanka Premier League.
Betty's nice and pleased with the way things are going. That's nice and straight. That might be 4. No, well fielded. Nicely stopped. Good desperate dive. End result is just a couple.
Shoaib Malik is someone you really do have to admire. He's played so much cricket. And you did mention that he's had a quiet tournament. And even today, after playing yesterday, he was in the nets. Straight after the warm-ups, he was dripping. So much work he'd done, and that's the determination. And even at this age, he's pushing so hard.
There's an outside edge. Fine. Yep. Outfielders on the quick side again, so that's a boundary. My 11 circle champion shot.
We were mentioning about Shoaib Malik's commitment. See, if you respect the game is going to respect you back.
Such a good man to have in your team. So many youngsters, Jaffna Stallions. Lots of boys from the north and east being included so they can get an experience and interact with these players. And when they see these type of things from senior pros, it just rubs off. Today, great day for an 18-year-old from Jaffna Central, Vyaskant, a leg break bowler. Turns 19 tomorrow. be really good to see how he goes, and these are the opportunities that you need.
Yeah, it's a huge opportunity for these youngsters to rub shoulders with the senior players, see what they do, which has enabled them to stay at international level for a longer period of time.
And I think today there's an opportunity to show the bench strength as well. Playing a mess. That's what these tournaments are about also, these franchises. You've got to make sure you've got good bench strength so that you can just give some players a little bit of a breather, extra bounce.
And they got 4 games in the last 5 days. That's not easy. So to be able to rotate, give the senior bowlers a rest and the others to take the responsibility, that would be great for their development too.
Yeah, the Stallions have been out there quite a bit. Worked on the onside. There's thoughts of 2. Will they come back for the second? Oh, they will. Direct hit might have been interesting. Nope, I think it would have been okay. That's beautifully run. In the end, it's 10 runs from it. That's a good over for the Jaffna Stallions. 63 for 2.
The 30-year-old, look at him run. Well, he'll need a breather, so does everyone. Here's the strategic timeout.
हर मील पे सिंगल डील? ये तो ट्रबल है। अब क्या ट्रबल है? फूड पैंडा पे सब डबल है। अरे फिर से सिंगल? डबल है।
मुन्ना अब तक सिंगल हो?
ओ चाचा, डबल है। भाईजान, डबल है। डबल है। फूड पैंडा डबल डील, घर का खाना मंगवाओ या रेस्टोरेंट से खाओ। अभी ऐप डाउनलोड करो और डबल डील पाओ।
पूरी की पूरी रकम फौरन से पहले पहुंच जाती है, इसीलिए मैं घर पैसे सिर्फ एलाइड एक्सप्रेस सर्विस से भेजता हूं और एलाइड एक्सप्रेस +1 टर्म डिपॉजिट से बेहतरीन मुनाफा भी।
एलाइड बैंक, आपके दिल में हमारा अकाउंट।
चलें, अब मैच देखते हैं।
Just for men for hair and beard. Buy अपना natural looking color सिर्फ 5 मिनट में।
iBase International.
इसीलिए तो बचाए थे पैसे।
इसीलिए तो हम कहते हैं मोल सुप्रीम अर्थक्वेक रेजिस्टेंट स्टील बार। घर छोटा बड़ा नहीं, घर महफूज होता है।
स्टार 614 हैश मिलाओ और 67 रुपए में जैज महाना बचत ऑफर लगाओ।
Jazz, दुनिया को बता दो।
Do the Dew.
Just for men for hair and beard. Buy अपना natural looking color सिर्फ 5 मिनट में।
iBase International.
फारा ऊट गोल्ड।
लो, सूख गए दाग, अब कोई नहीं निकाल सकता।
जो कोई नहीं कर सकता वही तो चैंपियन करता है। नया बेहतर सर्फ एक्सेल, इसकी स्टेन लिफ्टर टेक्नोलॉजी कपड़ों की तह में जाके सख्त सूखे दाग भी खींच निकाले। नया सर्फ एक्सेल, दागों का चैंपियन।
सर्फ का 10 अब दे 10% ज्यादा पाउडर।
तवानाई से भरपूर मजेदार दूध रूह अफ़ज़ा 225 मिलीलीटर टेट्रा पैक में दस्तयाब है।
What we've seen so far from Colombo Kings has been really good. 9 overs gone, 63 for 2, but 10 off that last over. I wonder if that's just broken the shackles for the Jaffna Stallions. They got a step on it. Bowled him through the gate. That is terrific. Case Ahmed has picked up another one.
Completely misread it. It wasn't a leg spinner, it wasn't a googly, it was a slider. And Shoaib Malik looked to angle the bat. He was looking to place the ball towards backward point, left a huge gap, and that was more than enough for the bowler to strike. 2-2 for the leg spinner. He's jubilant, so is the captain.
Outstanding. 78 kilometers per hour, that delivery. Shoaib Malik deceived. Gone for 8 off 5 balls. The Jaffna Stallions are 63 for 3.
Do the Dew.
इसीलिए तो बचाए थे पैसे।
इसीलिए तो हम कहते हैं मोल सुप्रीम अर्थक्वेक रेजिस्टेंट स्टील बार। घर छोटा बड़ा नहीं, घर महफूज होता है।
Just for men for hair and beard. Buy अपना natural looking color सिर्फ 5 मिनट में।
iBase International.
फारा ऊट गोल्ड।
Case Ahmed, 2 wickets for 8 runs. He's 1 ball into his second over. I wonder if he picks up another one, if we're going to see a forward flip. I wonder if he gets it out today. Dhananjay De Silva is the next man in. Strike rate of 131. His experience is a very good player. Gee, they've got to work hard. They've really got to work hard now, the Jaffna Stallions.
He's got the pace right. Look at that. It's a leg break delivery. Just straightens. Goes through bat and pad. And that's what happens on Sri Lankan pitches. Typical Sri Lankan pitches, there's natural variation of the pitch. If you get it in on that little good length on around off stump, sometimes some turns, some don't. And Rangana Herath, who's the spin coach, assistant coach of Colombo Kings, knows that about Sri Lankan pitches better than anyone.
Yeah, I like the way he manages over. Faiz Ahmed, he makes sure that he starts with his new over with an accurate delivery and keeps on building the pressure by variating.
The skipper's starting to get ready. He says, uh-oh, I'm needed again. I'm going to have to rescue my team. It's getting a little bit low. Sweepers into play. Can he stop that? Oh, he slips as well.
But he does well. He does well. Gets in the way and doesn't let it run off to the boundary. This is a different pitch. So I think a score around 170. That's another 100 runs in the next 10 overs. But one of these two has to dig in. Barbuck has been there for a while. Try and control that inning. Tixula De Silva in the deep. There is something in it for the bowlers. Dew will be a factor.
Oh boy, come on boys, come on! So winning the toss and electing to bowl first has been a big bonus as well. Of course, if you're bowling last, you might have a due factor to handle. That's going to be challenging. Cries of catch it, she'll be out and is out. He's got another one, he's got 3. 3 wickets for Case Ahmed now. My goodness gracious me, what a turnaround this is.
He's hot, Faiz Ahmed. He's onto the batsman all the times. He's thinking wickets. He's tempting the batsman with a delivery which was pitched outside the off stump. Asked him to go after it. He tried, but failed.
3 for 11, that's his return now. He's just completed 2 overs. Halfway mark, 66 for 4 it is.
Fast Cables है number 1 in technology. पहली कीमा गोल्ड सर्टिफिकेशन, मुल्क की वाहिद CCV लाइन और रियल क्वालिटी की फास्ट तस्दीक। तारों से सितारों तक फास्ट केबल्स।
2 किलो डिटर्जेंट के मुकाबले में 1 लीटर विज लिक्विड लॉन्ड्री डिटर्जेंट।
खुशबूदार 2-in-1 फॉर्मूला दाल धब्बों और मिट्टी के जर्रात को निकाल भगाए। विज लिक्विड लॉन्ड्री डिटर्जेंट।
तवानाई से भरपूर मजेदार दूध रूह अफ़ज़ा 225 मिलीलीटर टेट्रा पैक में दस्तयाब है।
फेस फ्रेश है तेरा बड़ा हिट सोनिए। फ्रेकल्स और डार्क स्पॉट्स की टोटल ट्रीटमेंट।
फेस फ्रेश क्लेंजर फेस वॉश।
जो फेस फ्रेश वही ब्यूटीफुल। फेस फ्रेश।
Exciting to Sara Pereira, the captain of this Jaffna Stallions team, comes to the crease. And it's another crisis. Previous matches, we've seen him handle those situations quite well with the bat.
Conditions are different here. The pitch is asking a lot of questions from the batsman. Can he be able to play free-flowing innings for his side once again? Pereira because his partners, his teammates actually tried to take on the bowlers, but they failed. 3 wickets for the leg spinner so far.
Different conditions, different situation. You have to assess what the situation is. Tisara Pereira, great form. Loving the responsibility, loving the fact that he's discovered his game, grown it. Usually always pulls the ball leg side, but now he's able to hit through the offside, which has now added another dimension to his game.
I think time has come for Jaffna Stallions to assess what total is going to be fighting on this surface. He's gone after the bowler. Wow. Talk about the talent. He arrived at the crease, facing the second delivery, and decided that was more than enough. I'm going to go after the bowler, and executed a brilliant stroke for a 6.
It's the attitude and approach. If it's in my zone, I'm going to play my shots. That's what he has brought into the game. That's what he's continuing with. If wickets fall around me, it doesn't matter. I'm going to play my own game. That's what he's working on. It's great to be strong and be able to do that.
Before the start of this innings, Tisara Pereira has accumulated 174 runs. Add 6 to that. Last shot played. And I mentioned in previous matches the difficult situation that he is faced with. The batter's captain against the Viking came in at 64 for 5, scored 97 not out. Against Candy Tuskers, came in at 49 for 5, scored 68 in quick time too.
Even in that instance, it was Dhananjay De Silva at the other end, and he made a fantastic half century.
Might be 2. Just settles for 1. The other point I'd like to make is most of the opposition teams, they've gone with seam against him. It might be different in this innings already. Kusal, we've seen K. Samad from the other end pick up wickets, so different challenge, bowling challenge for him in this innings.
Yeah, Minod Bhanuka needed to kick on as wickets were falling at the other end, but bottom of the bat, unable to clear the fence. Another one born. The wickets keep falling. Dhananjay De Silva this time, he can't believe what he's just done.
He's not convinced. He thinks Dhananjay that ball went to the fielder on the bounce.
He reckons he's hit it into the ground.
Both umpires will consult. I'm thinking if they go upstairs, they will have to give a decision before.
But it's got to be a top edge for it to have gone that high. He's saying not out. So the soft signal is not out. So that is to aid if there is some doubt.
And if the images